Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. This video is all about growing perennial flowers. These are 7 of my favorite that will attract birds, bees, beneficials, butterflies, and just bring beauty to your garden. If you're looking for seeds, certainly check out my seed shop, but if you need a greater variety of seeds, go to bentleyseeds.com. I've been working with them for a while. It's a wonderful company, and I really enjoyed getting to meet the people there. Again, bentleyseeds.com. So, perennial flowers come back year after year. So if you seed start them, not only are you saving money by seed starting them, you're going to save money because these flowers keep coming back year after year. You can divide them, you can spread them around. So I'm going to show you how to start these 7 flowers. I'll talk about what each one kind of brings to your garden as we go along. But the first thing to do is to really make sure, let me slide this over and bring this in, is you want to set your seed starting mix. That was quite loud. You want to set your seed starting mix up the right way. You can use these larger containers that I sell at my seed shop, and what that means is you're just not going to have to pot up a lot of your vegetables, your herbs, or your flowers if you're growing in something larger. So I put in a seed starting mix, thumb pack it down, and then I put another layer on, and that's going to be my planting base. And that's pretty much how I set up all my seed starts. In the video description, you can find a link to bentleyseeds.com. You can also find links to videos that show you how I set up the soil, how I make a sterile mix, and all that, just for more details. So for planting, I'm going to go with planting some of them right into these larger flats and planting some of them into into the larger cells and into the smaller cells. So let me get this set up, and we'll start with purple coneflower. So all of my perennial seeds that I'm planting today have gone through a chill period of 6 weeks. This process is called stratification. I just put the packs right in the refrigerator. I will put a video in the video description that talks about stratification and why you do it, but it basically helps with germination. If you can't stratify these, that's okay. Seeds will still germinate, but they can take longer to germinate, and sometimes the germination rate isn't the best. So purple coneflower is one of my favorite plants to grow. The seeds are a good size, and I just take 2 or 3 seeds in something about this size and drop them on. Now, purple coneflower has the beautiful, pink, purpley flowers. Monarch butterflies love these. Swallowtails love them. Blue jays love the seeds. Cardinals love the seeds. Goldfinches. It really attracts a lot. Bumblebees love everything that the flower has to offer. So 3 seeds in here, and I can see them, and I'm just kind of working them into 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch deep. You don't have to over worry about it. Just make sure you get them covered. And pretty much your perennial flowers, once they get that 6 weeks of chilling, a good percentage of these are going to germinate. And if you were to go buy, purple coneflower in the bigger pint and quart containers, you could pay $4, $5, $6, $7 a plant. We're starting these, generally speaking, 8 to 12 weeks before they would go outside. And these plants can take a cold, they can take a frost. But you want to get a good 8, 10, 12 weeks of growth, and these flowers are going to bloom the first year if you do that. And then I kind of take a look, any place that the seed didn't get buried, I press in, and that's pretty much setting it up, setting up the purple coneflower. The way I keep track of my seeds is I just put a grid on a sheet of paper. So right up here is basil. So down here will be, purple coneflower. Right here are going to be the black-eyed Susans. The black-eyed Susans I like growing because they grow really well here in Maryland Zone 7. The seeds are really small. These seeds are loved by chickadees, cardinals, white-breasted nuthatch, sparrows, and I will sprinkle probably 8 to 10, let me move this over, across this space. These are really good germinators. Once these are coming up, and if they're all coming up, I'll split this in half. So I'll take these 6 plugs that I'm making, and I'll turn it into 12 plugs of Black-Eyed Susans that I will just put into the garden in different places. So somewhere 8, 10, 12 seeds. These are much smaller, you know, than the echinacea or the purple coneflower. And I'm just going to scratch them into the top, quarter inch of the surface, not too deep. Very shallow for these. Probably not even a quarter of an inch, just scratching them in really. So if all the purple coneflowers come up, I might divide those, but I'm going to have at least 6 plants. If all the Black-Eyed Susans come up, I'm going to divide this. That will give me, like I said, 12 plugs. But that's just to give you an idea of how much money you can save by starting them indoors. And again, the target date for these can be going outside to get acclimated while it's still cold, while frost is still in the air. So that's going to be 8 to 12 weeks. So that's going to set up my purple coneflower, my Black-Eyed Susans in these larger containers. All right, let's go over to the smaller cells and we'll get planting the rest of them. So here in these smaller cells, I have strawberries already planted over there, and then I mark number 4, 120. You can see that right there. And this allows me to orient the seed tray so I know that I have space across here. So we're going to put in butterfly weed. This is milkweed. This is a mix. Beautiful for attracting butterflies. It's a perennial. And these could also be started in the larger cells like the purple coneflower. I always like to put, no matter what, 2 or 3 seeds in each cell, because I don't want to be waiting around for a seed to germinate that's not viable or doesn't germinate. So by putting in 2 or 3, worst cases, you have to divide them up. Now I have a lot of this color milkweed already. Let's just keep that one there. We'll put them into the starting mix all together. So that's going to be the orange butterfly weed. There's another variety that I found. This one is called Hello Yellow. I wanted something different. So I'm trying to open the seed pack. Hold on. There actually are only, well, there's only 6 seeds in here. These are not from Bentley Seeds, but there aren't many in here. Whenever I go out, I have this addiction. If I see a seed variety that looks good, I tend to buy it. But the yellow milkweed looked beautiful, but I'm not too thrilled about only getting actually 8 seeds in there. So put them in same way. That is Hello Yellow. And then one of my favorite is verbena. This is a Brazilian vervan, I believe. That's how you say it. Always worry about that, how to pronounce things. I love this. The seeds, birds love, butterflies love this, bees love this. It's just wonderful. And I'm going to do 2 cells. Well, let me just check my list here. Yeah, so I check. So I've got 1, 2, so I have 2 more spaces here. I'm going to overseed this. This takes a really long time to germinate. So the stratification, putting it in a refrigerator should help. Really fine seeds. And I'm going to give a good pinch in each of them. 6 or 8 probably. But this is a free seeder too. So once you have this established out in your garden, it's going to reseed itself. The birds, believe it or not, eat these seeds. They're so tiny, but they get to them. But this is going to reseed itself all over the place. And it's just a beautiful purple flower. Very drought resistant too. So to get these in, the larger seeds, down about a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. The thinner seeds the smaller seeds I just scratch in, and then I would press in. I'll do all these off camera, but that's how I do the finer seeds, and then the bigger seeds, about 1/4 of an inch, press them in. Wild bergamot is new to my garden. It's great for butterflies, and it's supposed to even bring in the hummingbirds. So again, really fine seeds, 6 or 8 per cell, and I will scratch those into the seed starting mix, not too deep. Let me put the rest away. And then foxglove. I really like foxglove. This is also known as digitalis, and if you eat it, it can affect your heart. So you want to keep this away from kids, even pets. But it's a beautiful flower that flowers early, and bees love this. It really feeds bees, and I think these flowers last 2, 3, 4 weeks. So they really look beautiful. They are perennials. I have seeds stuck on there from the other plant. Let me get rid of those. But these seeds are really fine, and you can almost just press these into the surface. I mean, they are super tiny, and I will definitely be dividing these up. They're really large flowers, the tiniest seeds. But I just love these because of what they do for the bees, the wonderful colors, and the flower spikes are really long. They're like that long. And for those, I'm just going to gently scrape them in, almost just press them to the surface. Now for watering, again, I will put videos in the video description. It talks about watering, but I always bottom water. These are a nice dark color. Well, the seed starting mix is a nice dark color, and that means it's fully saturated. When this starts getting light brown, and then the whole top is a light brown, I know it's time to bottom water. And I always just fill the tray up from the bottom, put the cell back on top, and let the water get absorbed that way. It's just a better way to water. But you wait to see the top of the surface turn a light brown. There's moisture beneath that. The seeds will be fine, and in a day or two, after this turns a light brown, we'll mix these a little bit deeper. That's when you want to water. And then I would just press everything in just like that. So that is the foxglove, the bergamot. These are the 7 flowers that I recommend. Just real quick, black-eyed Susans, wonderful for chickadees, cardinals, white-breasted nuthatch, sparrows, purple coneflower, birds love them, monarch butterfly, swallowtails, blue jays, cardinals, goldfinches, butterflies, bees and butterflies, birds love feeding off the verbena, the bergamot, butterflies, and it's supposed to be for hummingbirds. We'll see. That's why I wanted to add that. And then the foxglove is just a good 3-week bloom of flowers that bees love early in the season. This is what I recommend if you want to get started with perennial flowers. Let me show you how I put them under the lights. I put my flats under the grow lights for 14 to 16 hours of light on, 8 to 10 hours of the light off. I'd like to put the lights about 1 inch or 2 above the seed starts. The first 7 days is the most important. When the seeds are germinating, they want to break the surface and be hit by light. Once they break the surface, they're growing for about 7 days, you can raise the lights, do whatever you like. But it's really important to make sure they're getting maximum light. Thanks for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com. And if you can't find what you want there in the way of seeds, please check out bentleyseeds.com. Thanks for watching.